What's up, math fans? Two videos that you should have seen before this one, before you even watched this one, is multiplying polynomials or multiplying binomials and factoring, finding the GCF, the greatest common factor. The reason you need multiplying binomials is because when I factor a quadratic, you're going to get binomials. So you need to know how to check your work by multiplying the binomials back. The other video is finding a GCF, a greatest common factor. That just helps you get stronger with finding factors of numbers. And you'll see what I mean in a second. So first of all, vocabulary. Quadratic means that the largest term in your expression has a 2 as an exponent. The largest power is a 2. Quadratic means something is going to be squared. There's no cubic, there's no fourth power, the largest is a 2. And of course the word expression is kind of like the opposite of equation. It means it's a term, or 1, 2, 3. This is 3 terms, a trinomial. An expression can be anything. A monomial, a binomial, a trinomial just means that there's no equal sign. So you're not solving, you're just breaking down or really factoring. All right, and it always, or generally looks like this: ax squared plus bx plus c. That's exactly what this looks like: ax squared plus bx plus c. So you see my a, there's a 1 there. The a is the coefficient, the leading coefficient. The first number you see is a 1, that's your a. Here my b is 5, and here my c is negative 14. A is 1, b is positive 5, c is negative 14. All right, I'm going to ask you the same thing here. What's a? What's B, what's C? And then you should be able to look at this one, same thing, what's A, what's B, what's C? So I did a video already on factoring, actually, so that's the third video you might want to see before you look at this one, is when you're looking at ax squared plus bx plus c, everything is positive. I did a video on that, and it's a lot easier because everything is positive. Here, you actually have to think a little bit. So I want to factor this, and if you saw that video on factoring, you already know it's going to come from 2 binomials. This is very easy. When a is 1, when the leading coefficient is 1, there's a 1 here. When the leading coefficient is 1, there's a 1 there. It's very easy. So all the rules I teach you now only apply when a is 1, okay? So here a is 1, which means I know it came from 1x times 1x. That's instinctive, it's automatic, it's quick. Now I'm looking at the negative 14 and I'm thinking in my head, or you can even write it out, what are the factors of 14? Lucky for me, it's really only 14 and 1 or 7 and 2. So I'm going to go with 7 and 2, and here's why. When I add these together, that gives me the B, the sum. So my sum is B, which is 5, and my product is C, which is negative 14. Okay? And I said that in my last video also. The middle number is your sum, the last number is your product. So, but what do you mean? 7 and 2, that gives you 9. That doesn't give you 5. How could that be? This is why it's important to look at the signs, even get a calculator if you're not sure. You're trying to get negative 14. So it's not really 7 and 2. It's either negative 7, positive 2, or 7 and negative 2. So which pair is the correct answer? You look at that middle number, the sum. You want a positive 5 as your sum. It's got to be, nope, this one. Positive 7, negative 2 gives you the positive 5 in the middle. So this is plus 7, this is minus 2. Here's a clue. The bigger number gets the middle sign. If the middle sign is positive, the bigger factor gets the middle sign. Still don't believe me? Good thing you know how to multiply binomials, so let's do that. Maybe you learned it as FOIL. Maybe you learned it as distributive property. Whatever works for you. So I'm going to check my work by multiplying x times x, x squared. X times negative 2 is negative 2x. This gives me 7x. This gives me negative 14. You remember this? Combine like terms. Negative 2 plus 7, that gives me the positive 5x. The sum is positive 5x. That's what I wanted. So it worked. All right? That gives me x squared plus 5x minus 14. If this gives you this, look at that. It matched the original question. That means these were the correct factors. This is the correct answer. This part, that's just a check. People get confused, think that's part of the answer. It's not, it's just a check. This is the correct answer. All right? I'm not going to check this one. I'm just going to do it. Here, oh, wait a minute. They're both negative. B is negative and C is negative. Well, let's see. I know I got x and x. X times x is x squared. Factors of 24, 8 and 3, 12 and 2, 6 and 4. Which one do I use? I need a sum of negative 5, so I'm going to go with 8 times 3. But wait a minute, that doesn't give me negative 5, that gives me 11. Not if you're subtracting. Be careful. If look, and the middle sign is negative, the bigger number gets the middle sign. That's negative, that's positive. They have to be different signs to get a negative 24. They had to be different signs to get a negative 14. Okay? And negative 8 plus 3 gives me negative 5. Negative 8 times 3 gives me negative 24. Those are my factors. You can check that one on your own. Look at this last one. Here, the C is positive, the last number is positive, but the B is negative. So I'm trying to figure out what times what is positive 15. Well, again, I gave you an easy one because it's only 5 and 3, but positive 15 comes from positive 5 times positive 3 or negative 5 times negative 3. You got to think of all your options. And the reason you want negative 5 times negative 3 is because negative 5 times negative 3 is positive 15, but negative 5 plus negative 3 is negative 8. All right, so this would be your correct final answer. Again, you just use FOIL to check. So be careful with the signs. Don't get frustrated. It's not always plus plus. Thanks for watching. See ya.